Hi guys, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to just show some fair value gaps that I noticed. Fair value gaps are always aligning with the USD pairs, right? So let's just check out this USDJPY for some fair value gaps. So what do I do when I'm looking at fair value gaps? I start from the highest time frames, or rather the high time frames. Weekly, monthly, it really doesn't matter. But let's say as last upper week was November, last week was first week of December. So I tend to start from, if a month should end, I'll go to my monthly time frame to see how it ended, right? To see how it ended. So in this video, I'll be showing you guys how I locate my fair value gaps, and also valid fair value gaps and invalid fair value gaps. Now look at this chart. This is USDJPY monthly time frame, right? That's every candlestick here. It took it 1 month for it to form. So this candlestick was November, and this one that is currently printing is December. So look, as you see two horizontal black lines, right? Now these lines are basically my fair value gap, right? If you look in between this space from here to here, there is a gap. There is a gap here. It's a fair value gap, but I didn't trade it. You know why? Because it's an invalid fair value gap. It's not a fresh fair value gap, because when we look at to our left, this side, there is a fair value gap here in between this and this area. If you watch my videos, you understand how we locate fair value gaps. It's actually gaps in between candlesticks. So as you can see, this left side, this bearish fair value gap was created, and this bullish candles were covering, filling up this one. So if you don't notice, or if you don't pay attention, you think it's a fresh fair value gap. So but I still marked it because anything can actually happen. If had it been the market should break this point, then maybe I'll trade it down to my next fair value gap point. So this is an invalid fair value gap. Looking at this, it was filling our former fair value gap. So how do I look at valid fair value gaps? I look at it. Okay, before this week, as of last week, beginning of last week, I did something. That's before this present candlestick started forming, right? Because it's the beginning of the month, right? So this one is for December. So when November ended, I brought out my horizontal line and marked the high of October, this November. I marked the highest point of October, and I noticed there was a fair value gap. In short, that was why I marked it, because I noticed that there was a fair value gap. So I expected the market to retrace back. Now let's go to our weekly time frame. No, this is daily, sorry. Let's go to our weekly time frame, because I do a top-down analysis, right? So this was November, where my cursor is on. This November, as you can see, 24th November to Friday, which was 24, 20, 27, 28, 29, 30th November, right? So looking at it like this, the next candlestick that printed, there was actually fair value gap in correlation with our monthly time frame. If you watch my videos, you will notice, because I followed this trade and I did an analysis on it. Go back, check my technical analysis on my USDJPY pair, and you see what I'm saying. So I've done a lot of videos like locating fair value gaps, right? Now let's come to our 1 day. This is the most recent fair value gap, and I'm presently trading it. I'm presently selling. You know why? Because the market created fair value gaps yesterday and day before yesterday. As you can see here, from this point to this point is a fair value gap, and from this point to this point as of today, because this bearish candle is for today, right? This is a daily time frame. So looking at it like this, it's retracing. I believe it's retracing to cover this fair value gap. And we also have an economic news coming out on the interest rate decision. That's Fed interest rate decision, USD. You know, so I still go down to my 4 hours to see, even though 4 hours is not really giving, but I'm following my highest time frames, which my daily time frame is telling me there's a fair value gap. So I will not pay attention to the lower time frames telling me that there is no fair value gap, because looking at this chart right now, I can't really find the fair value gap I was looking at on my daily time frame. You get? So, but I'm trading it down to my daily time frame. Based on my daily time frame, I still go to 1 hour to locate. Now, yesterday I actually entered this trade because I noticed the fair value gap here. When I entered this trade, the market was here when I entered this trade. Yeah, when I entered this trade, I noticed this fair value gap, and looking, there's still fair value gap around this area. So when you're looking at fair value gaps, you should pay attention to already filled fair value gaps and fresh fair value gaps, because some fair value gaps look as if they are fresh, but they've already been filled up. So if you go trade them, you trade them in the wrong opposite direction. So let's go to USD Canadian dollars. Let's look at another fair value gap. Then we'll go to BTC. You see, this one is even clear. Let's just do this 1 day time frame. Look at this space here. Even though this my purple horizontal lines are from my weekly time frame, so I did an analysis on my weekly time frame. I found the fair value gap on my daily time frame. I found the fair value gap on my 4 hours time frame. I found the fair value gap. Then on my 1 hour time frame, I made my entries. So what did I do? Actually, I didn't just look for fair value gaps. I also look for candlestick confirmations. At the end of the day, at some points, I'm looking for a an engulfing, and I'm also looking for a pinbar. These are the two major candlesticks I work with when I'm trading fair value gap. So look at this space here. This is a fair value gap based on my weekly time frame in correlation with my daily 4 hours and 1 hour. So I'm trading it to cover it up. So buyers are going to fill up the fair value gap that was created by the sellers, which are the bears. So let's see BTC. So these three pairs are actually USD pairs. That's why I said it seems fair value gap works perfectly well with USD pairs, right? So any currency paired or commodity paired with US dollar. So look at this BTC. I've been following this for long. I did a video since August predicting BTC to fall to 104, and after it fell to 104, I also did an analysis seeing it fall to 86,000, and all played out well. All played out well. Look at my purple line. This one, this 86,000. If you look at this area, there was a fair value gap here. That was what I used to actually trade BTC to. That was what I used to trade BTC to sell BTC. So from this point, there was a fair value gap here. This was since last year. This fair value gap was created in April. No, it was created in April, 2025. So the fair value gap, that's like one of our last major fair value gaps. And look at what the market did here when it came here. Can you see this rejection? And also it's stating that, look at this doji. This is a doji. This is a bullish doji, right? Let's see how this week ends. But from this point to this point, there's a fair value gap here. This black line is based on my monthly time frame. Let's see. Let's look at the monthly time frame. Can you see this clean fair value gap at 103,000? That's where the fair value gap is on my monthly time frame. So the higher the time frame, the better. So I still go to my daily time frame. Sorry, this 4 hours. I still go to my daily time frame. Look at my daily time frame. There was a fair value gap I marked yesterday. So this one is now invalid, right? Call this invalid. Look at, there is another fair value gap around here, almost in correlation with our 1 week, because this purple line is my 1 week. So look, I still go to my 4 hours. I have a fair value gap at 95,000. But yesterday the market created a fresh new fair value gaps. If you look at this my yellow line based on my yellow horizontal line based on my 4 hours time frame. So this is a fresh fair value gap created by the market. I expect the market to cover it, then go and complete our fair value gap on 95,000. As you can see here, there is a fair value gap around 95,264. So you see currency pairs and also pairs that are paired with US dollar. I noticed fair value gap works perfectly well with them. This is like a very good strategy using fair value gap in correlation with candlestick pattern. Like, I mean, like at this point now, if it covers this fair value gap, what will I be expecting? Okay, let's say I was to sell this market, because there's a fair value gap, right? And every fair value gaps are going to be mostly get filled. Most of the fair value gaps created in the market get filled. So what am I going to do is that I'll wait for an engulfing. As you can see, this is an engulfing. It's either I wait if it is a bullish fair value gap, if it is the buyers that created a fair value gap, like in this instance, it was buyers that created fair value gap. If bears are to cover that fair value gap, what I'll be looking for is I'll be looking for an inverted hammer, which is the opposite of a pinbar. That's a bullish pin bar, the opposite of a bullish pin bar, because this is a bearish market. So I'll be looking for an inverted hammer or an engulfing, a bearish engulfing. And this is a bearish engulfing, but because this 4 hours, I'll still go down to my 1 hour, right? Look, you see what I'm saying here? This not a bearish. I won't consider this one. I'll wait to see. But you see this an inverted hammer here immediately after this bullish doji. This is an inverted hammer, right? I would have entered the market, but why didn't I trade it? Is because I've already opened other positions on my USD card and USDJPY, and I don't have enough. What do they call it? I don't have enough equity to hold the trade if anything goes against me. And BTC is very, 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 very volatile and has much liquidity. So this is it. My point of making this video is to show you that most I noticed most USD peers work with the FVG strategy perfectly well. That's if not even all. But then this is it: USD card, USD JPY, and BTC USD. So thank you for watching my video. Comment, like, and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you.